What's up, everybody? Thanks for being here. I received an anonymous question this morning that was asking me, how do you emotionally regulate? What a good fucking question. Seriously. Emotional regulation is one of the most important skills that us as humans can acquire. Okay? And it's something that we really do, most of us really have to put intention into and really practice. Emotional regulation it's like a muscle we need to work out. Okay? Not all of us are born with it. Most of us aren't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you 4 different things, whether they're actions or mindsets or perspectives, different ways of understanding, that really helped me move from being somebody who really struggled with emotional regulation to someone who doesn't anymore. Okay? So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is breathing. Okay, Mariel, everybody's breathing. Okay, sure, we're breathing. However, when we're not in a state of calmness, right, our heartbeat changes and our physiological signs start changing. Like we get sweaty and red and our heart's doing right, and we can get just feel our muscles tensing. There's so many physical things that actually change when our emotions change, okay? So breath work really helps with that. So one of the things that I used to do that really helped me was I would take a Sharpie, okay? And I've already done it, but I would draw a box on my wrist. Okay, super simple so far, right? Have you heard of box breathing? Okay, if you haven't, box breathing is where you breathe in for 4 seconds, okay, and then trace it. 4. Hold it for 4 seconds. Breathe out for 4 seconds. And then hold that for 4 seconds. And just repeat that, okay? It's a square. And being able to use, something tangible, something physical that you can actually trace and do your counting and breathe, all of that plays into actually helping your heartbeat slow down. And when our heartbeat slows down, guess what? Our face stops being super red when we're angry, okay? Or we stop sweating and we're able to actually, our brain stops from being in a little bit of a fight or flight freeze kind of mode into being able to go back into a state of being able to listen and hear what the other person is saying. Okay, so box breathing. Let's do it one more time, okay? In for 4. Hold for 4. Out for 4. Hold for 4. Okay? And I have a box tattooed on the back of my neck. So sometimes even now when I am in intense conversations where I can feel my heart beating irregularly and fast, I will do it. I'll trace it on the back of my neck because I can feel where those tattoo lines are. And so I'll do it, and it will still help me to this day. Okay, so the second thing that is really important and is a really, really good tool to use are safe words and timeouts. Now, everybody thinks safe words and they get kinky in their head and, think about ropes and handcuffs and all sorts of fun things. And yes, it is extremely important to have safe words put in place for those types of situations. However, right now, I'm talking about safe words for conversations. Okay? And the ability to call a timeout in a conversation. Right? And so there are different, you could use the whole stoplight, right? Green, yellow, red, right? Green means I can hear you, this is good, everything's good. We're on the same page and we are able to exchange perspectives and feel heard and feel seen. Let's keep going. Okay, yellow is I'm getting a little bit tight and I'm getting a little bit anxious and I can feel my emotional reaction to this conversation coming up a little bit, right? And so that's a good time to start doing this. Okay? And it's a good time that if you have that kind of communication with the person that you're speaking to just be like, just to let you know, I'm at a yellow, right? And it's good to have those check-in points too if you're in a conversation, let's say with a partner or a parent or a boss, to be able to go into a conversation that might be a little bit difficult and say, we need to have some check-ins, and here's the, red, yellow, green, right? And that way you can, if you're in the middle of a conversation, you can be like, just a quick check-in, I'm at a yellow, what are you at? Right? And that helps. Clear communication helps everybody be able to have empathy for where the other person is at emotionally, right? And sometimes it gets to a red, and at that red, that is the point where you call a timeout, right? When I get to a red, I can't hear anything the other person is saying, and I turn into fight. I'm not really a flight or a freeze person. I'm a fight person, okay? But I don't want to be that fight person. Like, I don't want to have those responses and reactions due to my lack of ability to calm myself down, right? And so I call a timeout. When I'm at a red, I'm going to call a timeout. And a timeout means that you step away. You remove yourself from that situation, and you go and breathe, and you calm down, and you just let your mind go and focus on something that is lighter, that brings you peace, right? So for me, my spot where I go when I need to calm down is, there's a waterfall that is boat access only that we go to. It's one of my favorite places in the world, and there you can go and I stand right in the water, right where the waterfall is coming down, and I look up, and I'm standing so close to the waterfall that the drops are like pounding my face, and it's just like, it's the most amazing feeling, being in that waterfall and just surrounded by nature and the power of it. And so when I need to call a timeout, I remove myself from the situation, and I go and ground myself in my head, and I literally will be wherever I need to be, where I am out of that situation and calming down. And I'll actually be looking up and doing my breathing, because I'm looking up at where in my head the waterfall is coming from. And that helps me calm down and ground myself and be able to go back in and continue having the conversation. And that's an important part of this. When you call a timeout, it doesn't mean that conversation, it's not your get out of jail free card and it's over. No, a timeout means that you need to calm down, the situation needs to calm down, and then you're going to go back and you're going to revisit that, and you're going to continue to have that conversation until you're able to be in a win-win situation or a win-win no deal situation, or until you need to call another timeout, walk away, calm down again, and come back. Okay? Calling a timeout is not a get out of jail free card. A lot of people are worried about that. Partners get worried. Well, if they call a timeout, they're never going to talk about it again, so I have to follow them, and I have to get it out of them, and I have to continue the conversations. No. Be a person of integrity and finish the conversation, but it is okay to do it after you've had that time to ground and calm. Okay? Third thing is respect. Okay? Emotional regulation is actually a very important way that we respect ourselves, and we respect the people that we're talking to. Respect is a huge part of it. Okay? And you are worthy, and you are important, and you are valuable, and you are worthy of respect. You're worthy of your own respect, and you're worthy of the other person's respect. And finally, the last thing is power, okay? What we don't realize sometimes is that when we are unable to emotionally regulate, what we're doing is we're wrapping our power up in a present box with a fucking bow on top, and we're going, here, you can be in power. Like, you can have my power. You can be in control of me. Last time I checked, I don't really like that. I like to be in power and control over myself. And emotional regulation is a way to do that, right? It takes power and it takes control to be able to own your emotions, acknowledge them, and rather than react, be able to calm yourself down enough, show yourself enough respect, show the other person enough respect to then be able to continue on in the conversation or set boundaries that you need in order to maybe create that safe situation for yourself. Okay, so those are the 4 things